Hi, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing a very exciting reading for you because Pluto is visiting Capricorn for the last time in about 250 years. This starts on June 11th, 2023. It goes all the way to November 2024. I know this is a huge time frame for Pluto retrograde re-entering into Capricorn, but it is such an exciting time frame, and I wanted to bring this to you guys. I'm so excited to be able to. Now, if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps this channel be seen by more people. It really helps it be picked up by the YouTube algorithm, and it lets me know that you guys like this kind of stuff. So thank you so very much for doing so. You guys are absolutely amazing. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy that Spirit wants us to be mindful of during this time. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Ooh, I love how the card just flew out. I thought it was going to land on the floor. I'm very glad that it didn't. We have strength right here. Now, this is Leo energy. So if you have a Leo in your life, this could be like just be a little bit mindful about that. You might not be getting on the best. But this is also really looking at strength, looking at power, and looking at how we're embracing our strength. Now, we're ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is the Roman name for Zeus, right? We're very strong, determined, focused people. But when strength comes up as something to be mindful of, this is bullying, right? So we have to be mindful either of embracing bullying strength. It's kind of like I'm going to get what I want and I'm going to like make this happen type of thing. We might not think of it as bullying in the moment, but it can be that. But it can also be having this energy around us where it's like people are trying to push us this way or trying to push us that way and trying us to get us to do this and trying to get us to do that. And Spirit is really saying here compassion, grace, understanding, love, openness and honesty. That's real strength. And we're going to be having a bit of difficulty with that bullying, kind of might equals right sort of energy. So just be aware of this during this time. We can also find the time frame of Leo, July 23rd to August 22nd, to be a challenging time frame for us. So again, being aware of that is going to be important. Let's see what Spirit has to say here. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and Spirit guides. This one. All right, this is abundance. It's embracing our abundance. Sagittarius, we have the grace of being abundant, more so again than other people, again, because we are ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter is the planet of greatness. Whenever it's paired with anything, it makes that element, that being, that planet, that, alignment shine more and more. And that's us. That's us. We're ruled by Jupiter. We get to shine. And there is a power and a distinction and a sense here of I need to embrace my abundance, my wealth, my prosperity, my bounty. And it doesn't mean that we have to live in a mansion and drive a fancy car. It means that we have to look at ourselves and say, I'm entitled to live a bountiful life. I am entitled to see myself as prosperous and not push that away. Because again, there's just this bullying energy around us for one reason or another. And it can be that we were bullied as children and that kind of stuck with us. But whatever it is, we could have been bullied by a parent or an older sibling or something like that, where it was like instead of the compassion coming in, and it's like the love showing that this is what grows respect and understanding, there's a sense here of the way this person bullied me made me feel like I would never be abundant. I would never achieve. I would never succeed. And that's a bunch of malarkey. It just is a bunch of bull. And that's really what the cards want you to know right now. If you take nothing away because we have nothing else down, take that away with this time. Take that away because you're going to see that the lies around your insignificance, okay, or your can't, they were lies. And when Pluto, Pluto is retrograde, Pluto retrograde is re-entering into Capricorn, and it shows the lies around structures. It just does. And so this was a structure that came in and that formed a lot of our life. And now we're finding out that's a lie. That is a lie. That was bullying energy that came in and, it tried to destroy me. So let's see what the cards have to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Oh, I love that. Yeah. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Huh. Okay, so that's really funny. And what's really funny here is that the only upright card is the Queen of Wands, right? And that's funny because we are represented by the wands in the minor arcana. So that energy for us, like us being crowned and being upright and having that positivity come forward, is excellent for us. Absolutely excellent. So let's talk about this time astrologically speaking, because as we said before, Pluto revisits Capricorn for the last time, okay, in about 250 years, and it starts now. It starts now. So this is according to the senior astrologer at astrology.com, and I do apologize if I absolutely butcher her name, Narayana, and I don't know how to say her last name, so I have it linked in the description box below. And it says here, we will continue to see big names, politicians, billionaires, media personalities fall from grace as Pluto continues to expose the hypocrisies. While we are already seeing this trend, it will exacerbate when Pluto forms a square with the lunar node of destiny between June and September of this year. It will be mind-blowing to see how this is related to the decomposing of our old structures, paving a way for new ones to be built once Pluto finally stays in Aquarius for good, which will not happen until November 2024. So during this time, what we're going to see is we're leveling up to power. We're leveling up to embracing what we desire, what we want, what we need, and what's important for us. We're going to have a tricky time with Capricorn energy. And that's interesting because we can be born on the cusp with Capricorn. And if we have Capricorn in our chart, there's a sense here of like we find it a bit tricky. The rules of Capricorn, all right, the structure, the way that it says it has to be like this. And our real question is going to be why? Because it's funny because we're sandwiched between Scorpio, which is ruled by Pluto, right? And Capricorn coming in. And Capricorn's ruled by Saturn. Saturn's all about rules, likes a good list, likes, everything structured, likes to say that there's a certain way for everything. And if you deviate from that, it can just be wrong. So just being aware of this. With the Queen of Wands crowning us, this is us. We are coming through as a queen. We are embracing our passion, our power, what we desire. This is also the sacral chakra. So if we want to awaken our sacral chakra, tapping very lightly on our tailbone can be just very beneficial for us to awaken that sacral chakra energy. But there's also a sense of a new dawn and a new day. So if you feel like there's something more coming, you're dead right. Like you are absolutely spot on. And that's a really beautiful thing. You know that more is coming. You know that the doors are opening and you can feel that, Sagittarius. So during this time, you might be like, I don't know why I feel like there's more for me, right? And that's because there's more for you. This is also going to be a time where we're not really that patient. And I laugh because we've been trying to tell ourselves to be more patient, to slow down. I just see that. It's like slow down, be patient, slow down, be patient. And then, it's kind of like very much coming in and saying, no, I'm ruling the situation. I'm embracing my power. I'm embracing what I desire. I'm embracing what I want, and I'm embracing who I am. And I'm really not going to let myself be, kind of manipulated by other people. And this is going to be a time where we see, like, if we would have just kind of like followed the crowd, or not if we would have just followed the crowd, we would have had an idea before of like following the crowd. We follow like this, or we do it like this. And Spirit is saying to us right now, and it's like, let yourself shine. And we're really having ourselves say, like, well, what if I step out of, this way of doing it? Or what if I think outside of the box? Or what if I open up this door? And we're seeing ourselves embrace our magic. We're seeing ourselves embrace our grace and our passion. And it might mean that we had really big dreams, like really big dreams, like everybody was going to know our name. And the way Spirit shows us during this time that we're achieving our goals is not that everybody knows our name, but that we see ourselves connecting with a whole bunch of people. We see ourselves, getting out there and forming communities and being connected. And it's like, oh, okay, I was thinking this way. Spirit's showing me my path lies like this. It can be smaller than what we had anticipated, because we always think, at least when I was little, like, it was always like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be famous, right? Like everybody would say that. And it's like, okay, well, what does that mean? And you don't really know. And maybe it's not, conducive to your personality at all. With the Queen of Wands, this is passion, this is fire, this is determination, and this is focus. And that's what we're embracing. So whatever you set your mind to during this time, and I do know it's quite an expanse of time, but whatever you set your mind to, Sagittarius, you achieve. And that is astounding. You step into the sacred feminine energy. That's a very comfortable energy for you. But it's also a very interesting energy that you're learning, like, this is what I need, this is what I want, and this is what I desire. And I'm going to nurture and support myself. I'm going to love me. I'm going to stand with me. So knowing here that even if we're a little bit iffy about sacred feminine energy, we're thinking, oh, well, I don't know how to embrace that fully. And this doesn't mean that it's just for women. It means that sacred feminine energy, the nurturing, the caring, the compassionate, kind of the more behind the scenes, quote unquote, feminine energy, and that's just how I see it, is going to be coming forward in our lives and saying, well, where's this place? Like, okay, so if everybody sees you, that's great. But what about you seeing you? And what about you taking care of you? With the Seven of Wands, now you have the repeat of the number 7 and it's reversed. So there's a lie coming forward. And Pluto retrograde, in Capricorn, it brings forward lies. It brings forward, things that just aren't fitting in normal structures. And we're going to see that we might find ourselves really going off the beaten path, really embracing what's right for us and saying, okay, it might not be the norm, but it's my normal. It's my happy. It's my joy. We're going to be looking at fighting during this time and saying, I can't. The Seven of Wands, we have been so used to standing our ground and fighting and being determined and not letting our emotions get the best of us and not letting ourselves, be overwhelmed or this or that, or being overwhelmed and overly sensitive and then feeling like, well, I just have to fight through it. I can't let people know how this is affecting me. We're going to step back from fighting and we're going to say, you can have your opinions. You can say what you're going to say and you can be who you're going to be, but I'm being me. We don't let ourselves be walked all over, but we're not wasting our energy, hemorrhaging energy in constant fighting. Because when you fight against fools, how do you win? There is a sense here of, I need to stand in me, for me, empowered by me. We're going to see during this time that it's not necessarily about planting more seeds, right? And waiting for them to take root or to bear fruit. We're going to see, the things that we have planted, the things that we have desired, bearing fruit now in our lives. Things that we had thought, oh, well, maybe this will take years. I do see, we could have done this 7 years ago, but I also see something where we're like, well, maybe in 7 years or maybe in a whole bunch of years, I'll get to that stage. What Spirit is showing is that things that we are putting off, or we're saying, you know what, that's just not going to come now, it comes rather quickly. Once we nurture the seeds of what we want, but also once we start to gather our prosperity and say, you know what, I've planted these seeds and my life is bearing fruit. Because we're giving up, and it's not like giving up, like it's never going to happen, but we're looking at things and saying, when I set these dreams, I had a limited reality, right? And I didn't know how to connect with what spirit wanted of me. I knew how to connect with what the world wanted of me or how I thought success would be. Now I'm connecting with me, what I desire, what I want. And we're going to start to see things falling into our laps. We're going to start to see ourselves being more and more prosperous in ways that we hadn't imagined. And it brings us to the Knight of Pentacles. And what's funny with the Knight of Pentacles is that, yes, it represents Capricorn energy, but it's also the slowest moving knight. And this is reversed. It's like we don't want to be moving towards success in super slow motion. We want things to pick up, and we're going to see things picking up. This is a time where it's kind of like we're expecting, not expected, we're expecting to wait. We're expecting for it to take more time. And I don't want you to get like super excited and say, well, Dane said, or Spirit said through Dane that, everything's going to start picking up so I don't have to worry, or I am going to get what I want way sooner than I expected. And that's wonderful. And everything like that. Things are going to happen a lot more quickly than we expect. But Spirit's still saying, let it go. Stop fighting to try and make it happen and start saying, I'm going to follow my path and I'm going to follow myself and I'm going to connect with my strength, not through brute force. Like I will make this wall fall down, but through, what? I wonder how long it takes to walk around it. I wonder how long it takes to climb up it. And I'm going to use my strength to better me, not to prove anything to anybody else. So this isn't that slow and steady way forward. We start to see things quicker. And also we're the second fastest moving knight. The fastest is the swords, and we're the second as the wands. What Spirit is showing us here is that we don't like the patience that comes through. And what we have to be is more aware of our prosperity, of our success, of what we desire, of what we want, of what we need, and how we're building ourselves forward. And that's going to be a big thing. During this time, somebody's like, it's like, hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. And there's a sense of, I'm never going to get to where I want to be. Spirit is saying here that abundance is part of your path. It may not be the way that you imagined it when you were like 15 years old, and that's okay. But you're going to see that you're moving forward in a success that is powerful and beautiful for you. Capricorn energy, staying to the rules, playing the game this certain way, having a schedule, doing everything like so. That's going to be more difficult for you. So you can find yourself being really mad at yourself. I'm not, doing this the right way, right? I'm not as structured as I should be. I'm not as structured as this person is, or as structured as that person is. That may not be your thing. And most likely it isn't your thing during this time. Give yourself broader, kind of like a diagram of things. Set alarms on your phone if you need to be reminded of things. Take pictures to see how things are progressing, because I find at least that that's way easier for me. And I'm just seeing picture. And so I'm getting, okay, step back and look at it, step back and look at it. That's going to be easier to take it in. With the Hangman reverse, you're seeing things differently again. You saw things differently, and now you're seeing things differently again. And you can think, oh, this is wrong, right? This isn't how I anticipated it. But again, what we're seeing here is we're seeing things, structures, the way things were, the hypocrisies of things falling apart. And these are going to be even the hypocrisies that we have for ourselves. We're seeing things differently, and we're stepping into a different light, a different understanding, a different power, and a different instinct. And we're going to just see that this is a time when our world is changing powerfully and profoundly. And it brings us to the devil reversed. So the devil tells us, the devil talks about addictions. It talks about, temptations. But the devil reversed is like, I'm releasing a lot of addictions, temptations. I'm releasing a lot of things that held me back, that chained me back, that kept me from where I needed to be for me. And we're also going to see Sagittarius. There's something here. It's like rebelling against the conformity of it all. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. It can just be the sense in our hearts we're saying, no, that's not right for me. No, that's not how I need to move forward. No, that's not how I'm going to be doing this. and we mean it. But we're going to be looking at a lot of the chains that held us from when we were younger. Okay, a lot of that bullying energy that we could have even taken on ourselves because that's the way we thought, okay, this is how you make somebody successful, or this is just the truth and they have to hear it, type of thing, or, this is, this is just being real. And now we're breaking chains and we're saying, I get to be kinder to myself and I get to be gentler to myself. I get to embrace my greatness in balance and in harmony with who I am and how I'm embracing being in love with my life. And that's going to be a really big thing for us. This is a time where it's like, I'm not playing anybody else's game. I'm simply looking at me and saying, I'm showing up and I'm here. It's powerful and it's time. It's time that I showed up for me with love and compassion. And we're just going to see things starting to fall in our laps. Not in that way. And I don't want it to be like, oh, I'm just going to sit back and eat chips and everything's going to happen type of thing. But in a sense of like, slow it down and really ask your soul, like, to send it to you in a picture, in a dream. What is it that I want? See what you're being drawn towards. What is the media that you're consuming? What is it that you love to do that's, that you might think, oh, that's geeky, or oh, that's not cool enough, or, people will mock me for this. What is it? As long as you're coming from a place of love and peace and healing, embrace it. If it's not everybody's cup of tea, it doesn't have to be, right? It only has to be yours because this is only your life. And instead of fighting everybody else and wasting all our energy, there's a real sense of like, yeah, I stand up for me. I'm nobody's doormat. You're definitely nobody's doormat. But I have nothing to prove to you. And that's huge, Sagittarius, because you're represented by temperance in the major arcana, and that's balance. And once you accept the balance of yourself, you find that balance in yourself, game changer. Absolute game changer. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Lord. Now, this is Aries energy, but this is, again, that sense of might equals right. This is lording it over people, right? Type of thing. Somebody has lorded things over us. We can have a difficult time embracing the sacred masculine. Be aware of this because we need the balance, as we are represented by temperance, balance. We need the balance of the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine. We're going to have an easier time connecting with the sacred feminine, a harder time connecting with the sacred masculine, but it's going to be really important that we connect with that sacred masculine energy. There's somebody here, a male energy, that has let you down. An acknowledgement of that, but also an acknowledgement that everybody is not this person. That's going to be huge because there's almost like they have you in chains and it's like you're freeing yourself. It's like everybody's not this person. A past lover, a parental figure, whomever this was, everybody's not this person. And it's like, I'm free. I'm free. And it brings us to our subconscious spirit message, which here is nature, nature reversed. We're going to have a difficult time, not impossible, but it's just going to, spirit saying it's a little bit more difficult, embracing the nature of what we want, embracing going out into nature, really saying, this is me. And I get to plant my feet and recharge my battery. And this is who I am. And again, a difficult time doing that, giving us ourselves permission to do that. But we need to. We really need to get out into nature more and embrace our nature and embrace what we want and what we desire in our lives. It brings us to our subconscious tarot message. And this is the Wheel of Fortune. We know things are changing. We feel it on a very, like, I want to say primal level. Like we feel it like in our bones, in our soul, in ourselves. It's like, I know things are changing. I'm entering into a new chapter. And what's very interesting is subconsciously, we've kind of been kicking and screaming, right? I don't want to do this. I don't want things to change. We're not happy where we are. Or yeah, no, it's like, we're not satisfied where we are. Like, it's not satiating. It's not like, oh, okay. But the idea of the change, it's like, oh man, what the heck's going to happen now? Type of thing. Embrace the next season. You will be pleasantly surprised. Even though a part of you is like, man, this is super scary. Embrace the next season. You're going, again, be pleasantly surprised. All right. All right, Sagittarius, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony. Sagittarius, may blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. Absolutely embrace this time. It's magical and powerful and so rare and beautiful. So really, really embrace it. We're going to be seeing a lot of change and a lot of power coming forward. God bless you all. Have a absolutely wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye.